Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to Counselor's Couch 101. Yes, I'm still Jim Stump, and yes, it's still the same pronoun. Haven't changed anything yet. No one has convinced me to take any such action, so you're stuck with the same old, same old. Uh, Before we get going here, someone asked me about this pin. I think it's unusual. I think it's interesting what people pay attention to. They look around my room, they look at the crystals, they look at the feather over there, the painting on the wall, and etc. And someone asked about this pen. Well, let's see if we can, let's just see what it looks like. See if any of you recognize what that is. Probably is backwards on your screen there. But I got this pen a long, long time ago. Just want to support veterans and etc. So if you know what that pen is, just type it in the comments below. Let other people know that you know what it is and that whether or not you support veterans. I don't support wars, but I support veterans, all right? Lately, the issue that seems to be most prominent for people I'm talking with is how to deal with annoying folks. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I got this from a couple of the most successful, the wealthiest people on the planet who said several times in the past that they don't tolerate negative folks. When they run into people with negative ideas and are putting everyone down and just thinking negative thoughts all the time, they simply walk away. They won't have anything to do with them. They're not rude. They're not come at them and tell them how to change their behavior or anything. They just step away and don't have anything to do with them. They just leave them alone because they know they cannot change the behavior of a toxic person. And it's just draining their energies in order to try to do so, right? So if at all possible, people just leave them alone. That doesn't mean you have to be rude. Like I say, if they come by and they say hi, you can say hello and like that, but we just don't spend any time with them. We don't give them our energy. Just step away from them. A few of the comments and some of the posts that I put up recently have mentioned things like that, so I thought I would bring that up. And I had an interesting conversation with the lady a couple of days ago, and she was saying that she was, in my words, she was ghosted by this guy at a dance club, right? And she was really annoyed by that, and she wanted to sort of get even with him or get his attention or etc. And I'm saying, first of all, the bottom line is that you benefit and he doesn't, right? That's the bottom line of it, because you're a good person. You have good intentions. You don't want any evil for anybody. You're not trying to cause anybody any trouble or make them feel bad. So it's their loss. That's the first thing, right? And the other thing is probably your gain. Anybody who's going to treat you badly is not someone you want to have in your life. But that really wasn't the issue. The lady did not want to let go of that particular topic, and I knew why. The situation is, and I pointed it out to her, I said, we're not really talking about this guy who ignored you and slighted you in the public situation. What we're really talking about is your reaction to your feelings that came up because of that incident. We're reacting to how you are feeling about it. That's not the guy. That's not what he did. That has nothing to do with that gentleman over there. It has to do with us. So when things like this come up, the first place to check is with yourself. What's going on? Most of the time when we've been slighted or ignored or somehow socially offended, it triggers something in ourselves and we're reacting to that. Otherwise, we just say, that one's a jerk, leave him alone, God bless, go your way, and there's no problem. We're not going to have an issue about it. We're not going to argue. We're not going to fight about it. I'm not going to go online and trash you or anything else. I'm just going to leave you alone, right? If I didn't have any connection to it, I would do that. But when someone wants to engage and argue and say, why did you do this bad behavior and all that, it's because they're reacting to the feelings that they came up in themselves because of that incident and that behavior. They always say, look at ourselves, right? You've heard the old expression, it's been said a number of times, and I heard it a couple of days ago online. Someone else mentioned it. It says, when you point a finger at someone, you got three fingers pointing back at you. It's always look at us. Why are we reacting to whatever just happened? And we if we're going to live peacefully in life, if we're going to get along with other folks, if we're going to be our optimum and most successful, we have to get rid of this noise in our head, because it's noise. That's all it is. It's all these ping pong balls bouncing around, making a racket and accomplishing nothing. It's just emotional noise, and it plays out in negative thinking in our heads. So one of the things I ask people a lot, and I mentioned here, and I'll say it again, what exactly are you saying to yourself? I ask people to write that down. I say, look, during the week when you start having all this confusion in your head and so forth, I say, write down the words, the very words that are going on in your head. And we're going to find out where this noise is coming from. Usually people say that person's being unfair, that person is being inconsiderate, etc., etc., etc. And we keep going below that kind of noise, we find something else. We usually find something that says something like, I'm not good enough. People don't like me. People don't want me around, right? Nobody enjoys my company. I'm not good looking enough. I'm not skinny enough. Whatever. I'm not intelligent enough. I'm not rich enough. I don't have a nice car. Whatever it is. That's the kind of stuff that is at the root of all the negative self-talk we tell ourselves when something happens to us socially. We're offended. It is reigniting that old wound. That's exactly what it is. It's reigniting an old wound. And we're not only responding to what just happened, we're responding to a whole list of things that happened that are all connected in that way. In other words, if we've been slighted in the past, say junior high school, or maybe even the family earlier than that, we connect that slight, we connect that rejection to other rejections we have along the way. Say we apply for jobs when we're 16, 17, 18, 19. I know kids don't get jobs these days. I understand. We'll discuss that some other time. But we're applying for a job and we don't get the job. It's not that they didn't want us. It's that they wanted someone else more than they wanted us. And we feel rejected. We feel less than. And that's what we're telling ourselves in our head. How come I didn't get the job? I'm better than the people they hired, etc. In regards to that, I don't want to get into job stuff right now, but in regards to that, I always say that you're probably going to end up in a better situation than the one that you just tried to get into. Recently, a friend of mine was let go from a position that he had. He was a manager of a commercial enterprise. He was doing very well. He made the company more money by 40% than they had the previous year. Then all of a sudden they walked up to him and they said, we're going to have to let you go. And he said he couldn't understand it at all, because they had recently told him they were going to give him a raise and then promote him, and they're going to start training him to do more upper level administrative duties. They're going to teach him all these skills, free education for him. And he's saying, why did they let me go? And we stopped and looked at it, and we judged by the behavior of the people who had done that, etc. The decision had nothing to do with his value to the company or his skill or his expertise or anything else. It had to do with a decision that the company is making up on a top level. They're looking at the economy, what's coming in the near future as far as jobs and income. Everyone's expecting a huge depression. They're making decisions based on that, not on you. So we let that stuff go, or we understand the situation in that light, and we're looking for our own advantages, our own getting forward in life and in our career, our own benefits and like that. With every sort of a situation, there's always an opportunity in it. Always look for the opportunities. What can we do to better ourselves given these circumstances? I'm getting off the topic here. The idea we started off with is, what do you do with people that reject you, and etc. Well, first of all, we start to recognize where those negative feelings are coming from. They're not coming from that person. If that person doesn't want to be in your life, that's probably the best choice for both of you. If that person doesn't want you, you're probably not going to be happy with that. So therefore, don't worry about it. There are a lot of people in the world, well, there are millions of people in the world, if not billions, and most of them probably are never even going to meet us, right? And a lot of people we do meet are not going to be the ones that are going to be our closest friends. It just isn't that way. we will gravitate to those people who are best for us, and we are best for them. And those are the ones who will become our good and closest friends. So when we're thinking about trying to get even with someone who slighted us or try to do something negative to someone, look at the feelings underlying it. It's not about them. It is never about what someone else did. It is about how we react to what someone else did. That's the whole drill right there. If we can figure that out, if we can understand that, then we can let go of the negative feelings and move on, right? And not only that, once again, I think of it as an opportunity. It's a perfect time to self-analyze and make little small adjustments that let us be happier in the world, let us be more successful in the world, accomplish more and do more with our time and our energies, because we're clearing out the noise. The noise in our head takes emotional and actually physical energy to sustain it and to deal with it. We keep thinking over and over again what the incident does, and we keep seeing other ways it might have gone and things we might have done differently to get a different outcome. That is not productive. It doesn't help us. It doesn't educate us for the next time something happens. What educates us is to understand why we are reacting the way we're reacting. The next time something like that happens, we can hopefully, if we've learned our lesson, we'll notice it instantly and say, okay, I just been triggered. I feel like I've been abandoned. That is a very big issue at the bottom of a lot of negative feelings about rejection and social slights. We're feeling abandoned or something, we're not good enough. Those feelings come up. When we recognize that that is the emotion in us that has been triggered, then we can let go of whatever is going on as that's noise in our head and focus on the here and the now and what's going on in this situation. And once we cleared our head, we can make the best decision and choose the best behavior for us in this moment. It's not about them. I'm never going to change them. I'm not even going to try. Let them work on their own issues. I am trying to get to where I want to go in life. I'm trying to accomplish my goals, not theirs. I'm not trying to help them on the way. I'm not trying to hurt them either, but I just leave them to their own devices. I work on me, making me better each and every time. So when we have these negative things, don't think of them as a negative experience. Think of it as an opportunity for self-awareness. Where is this negativity coming from? What's it all about? And when I figure that out, I will have improved by just that much more. Keep doing it long enough and you'll get to a point where a whole lot of things just don't bother you, and you accept life on life's terms. You take it as it comes and you do well in it and you succeed. And ultimately you find yourself being happier and in the place that really fits for you, that works for you, and which you want to sustain because you're enjoying your life the way it is. So just some thoughts about that. Run into negative people or treating you badly, use it as an opportunity to explore self-awareness. Forget about them. They aren't going to help you anyway, all right? And don't forget the warriors. Thanks for stopping by. I look forward to talking to you next time.